welcome to the third video in this sequence. And in this video, we're going to talk about the power dynamics in relationships and how to navigate those with love, wisdom, and understanding. So, as you've heard in the previous videos, and if you've not heard, please refer to the previous videos to get a flow of thought and also a flow of events that lead us to now this point. So you've been in different positions in the power dynamics of relationships.
Yeah.
So as you've been growing up, you were a dependent, and then you got to a point where now you're taking other relatives and they are dependent on you.
Yeah.
And even in the workspace, you've been a junior, a senior,
Manager.
a manager. So all these are different power dynamics. And I wanted to get your wisdom on how you navigate these relationships with love, with wisdom, and also understanding in how you relate well with others.
Yeah. So, taking you back to my growing life, my growing life is what brought me to who I am today, because I accepted to be who I am. One of the things I didn't mention, which actually I grew knowing, is that there is no child who chooses where to belong. If we were allowed to say, I want to be born in Kenya, I want to be born in, before you were conceived, you say now, me, I want to be conceived in Australia, I don't know how the world could be. But God made it a secret that no child chooses to even those who go for adoption, children are in a home, they don't choose, they are chosen. So I grew knowing that no child chooses to be where they are. When I found myself in somebody's home and my mother talked to me, I knew that that is where I belonged. Anytime I moved to another one, she also told me that is where you belong. And this made me realize that it is God who knows why He has placed you where He has placed you. And through that, I also went through the love which is described in the Bible. Love and love anyway. Even when you feel like you are not loved, love anyway. Because even if I love, I won't lose my tooth. I won't lose my finger. I won't go blind. But when you love covers all the hate. Even when somebody did not want you and you go smiling, hi, how are you? Even if they don't smile back, when they go, they just wonder, this lady, is she normal really? Because you are not smiling back. But when I go, me, I've forgotten because I loved anyway.
Yeah.
Obey anyway.
Can I read that part?
So
So
now,
what mom is referencing is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 through to 8. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud, it does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails.
and for me to maintain that also, because what Clara has said is, I forget about having been a dependent. Now I have people who depend on me. Because of my experience, I also learned that everything I do, it is always good to communicate. Like there are days which can be very hard for me. Maybe I'm broke. Maybe I'm so stressed from work. Maybe I don't know what we are going to eat next. I don't know what is going to happen. One thing about me is that I'm very open, abnormally open. I just say, today we don't have food. What do we do? Today, I don't feel like talking. Today, I'm so sad. So even if you see me sad, it is not because of you. Because there are times, sometimes you can be quiet and you have relatives in your house and they think that it is them, you have just decided to be silent. So I communicate, I say, today, I'm just down. I'm not talking, it's not you, it's me. So communication is is key in every step you take in your life. Whoever you are with, communication is always, and quiet, nice communication, not shouting. I think I don't belong to the shouting group.
Even we've not grown
Yeah.
up. And that's
So-
why, sorry, I'm just interrupting.
Yeah.
And that's why I can't cope with people who shout.
However, it's also good to cope with people who shout also, because we can't be the same.
Yeah, but
We can't be the same. And
you
people
leave.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, mom. I actually cannot cope.
Yeah.
And you see, there are those situations. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah,
you.
it's okay, it's okay.
But
it's okay, love.
there are those situations, mommy,
Mm,
that are in your control
yeah,
versus out of control.
yeah.
So, for instance, if I get in a situation where I'm not in control,
Yeah,
where, for instance, maybe I'm a dependent,
yeah,
and they start shouting, I will tolerate.
Yeah.
Like I will suffer through it.
yeah,
But if it's by choice, for
Yeah.
instance, choosing where to patronage, you
Yeah.
know, if choosing the shop where I buy things,
yeah.
and the shopkeeper is shouting at people, I'm not
yeah.
going to buy
You're
there
not going to
anymore.
buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's
Over
okay.
to you in studio. Back to you in studio.
So anyhow, love covers everything. When I look at love, it covers everything. Now, where I'm the one in authority, I've said communication is key. Understanding is key. Reasoning is key. Because there are relatives who will come with very high expectations that these guys have money, they have this, and they want everything from you. So understanding there is key. And also trying to find out where this one is coming from. Because relatives will come, they have their own beliefs about you. They think you are not good enough, maybe for some reasons. So for me, I found it very easier telling the truth. Telling somebody, it's either you take it or you don't.
You don't.
It's either you belong or you don't belong. I'm very clear, but I also do it with the understanding and with the love. And later I try to find out, were you happy with what I did? If you are not happy, I'm sorry. Then saying sorry is nothing to me. If you feel I've offended you, even when I'm not offended you, I say sorry anyway. And then when you go, I say, and then thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I've taught Clara and Mercy. It is very, very, very important to say thank you, even when somebody just sits with you, not necessarily giving you anything. Then not expecting people to give you is also key, but give anyway. Even
Yeah.
if people don't give you, give
Give
anyway.
to give, yeah.
If people have not helped you, help anyway.
anyway.
I tell them, me, I was helped. So when it comes to helping family,
Help.
you must help. And we've clashed with them several times because I insist, so somebody is dead, you have to bury. Somebody has given birth, you must go and see the child. Somebody is sick, you must go to see them, even people they don't know. That is giving back to society. So I don't know what other thing was I supposed to.
And I think also, maybe, Mom, you can speak to the habit
Yeah.
of seeing people beyond the interaction that you have. So trying to reason in terms of upbringing, background, what could be influencing what is happening right now. So me and you are relating, and I'm exhibiting some behaviors.
Yeah.
I think you have a really powerful skill of seeing the person beyond the now.
Yeah.
So you try and think, okay, this is how they grew up,
Yeah.
or this is where they come from. So in that place, probably this is how they relate.
Yeah.
So it's not about me.
Yeah.
Then now you relate with different types of people so well.
Yeah. Okay, I think that one comes with the, I think, suffering. Because when I was growing, I saw so many things. I thought there is suffering, there is this. So anytime somebody comes with a funny behavior, I reflect my own life. And then instead of accusing them, or I just listen and then I try to find out, this child, this guy, how did he grow? How was his family background? The first thing I always ask is, how was the background of this person who comes shouting at me, who comes expecting me to give? What was the background? And I try to balance the understanding so that I can be able either to help or not to help, because people come from different backgrounds. Then we also mentioned about culture shock. I think it depends on where that person is coming from or what they think about you. For example, as me and my husband, we didn't live at Meru or for long. Like me, I didn't live at Meru for. I mean, when I was growing, I was in school. When I've grown, I didn't live there. But a time came when we were supposed to retire. Okay, for example, myself, I didn't retire at the right time. When somebody tried to tell me your age is now this, you are going to retire. This, I said, what the hell? I signed before I retired. So I started my own practice in Nairobi, worked for quite a while. When my husband retired, he was in administration, so he wasn't able to come and join me at the clinical area. He didn't want to start a business in Nairobi. So the only thing we could do so that we could be comfortable financially is to go back to relocate home. So we decided to relocate home. I also went to run a clinic there at home. When I went there, it was different. People expected that, Daktari has opened a clinic. She's doing counseling. It is so beautiful. She's going to give us free services. Well, I was not going to give free services. So it became really hard. And then there were people's expectations on how to communicate with people, how to communicate with old people, how to communicate with the youth. It took a toll on us. But for some reason, we managed. But culture shock is real even in your own setup. Because how you've been cultured is different, very different from how the other people have been cultured. They have been cultured that a woman is just to listen, but in my clinical services, I was to say. So they wondered, what is this woman saying now? How can she say I should not do 1, 2, 3? So I had to teach people slowly. How I managed, I don't know. Because right now it's very comfortable, the clinic works well. I mean, people know that they're supposed to pay services. People know that they're supposed to obey the doctor lady. She is in charge. But it is hard. But it is nice. So I had to maintain my sanity through God's help. Because somebody will come, I want to respond, I don't want to respond, because I want people to come still. I don't want them to run away from me. I want to give good services. I want to be respected. I want to respect. And so for those like me who might also be passing through the same from their background, it is good to know that God is there for you. God will always protect you. And God will always give you what you ask for. You need to know what to ask. Because you can't keep on crying and saying, oh God, why me? Why not me? Why not me? I've never asked God, why me? Never. Why not me? So that when you meet a challenge, God tells you now, this is the bridge. You cross in the middle or you cross on the side. But you cannot just, assume
the
that
bridge is not there.
It's not there. You just have to tell God I think the God I serve sits together with my dad. Because anytime I say, oh God, Dad, the answer comes. Even when I was having children, Mercy and Clara, I asked God, give me the best children. And actually he did. Because they are the best. You are the best.
Stop it. Anyway, don't stop. But you've just said something that reminded me of the little prayer books you used to have. And you used to write, my mom used to write prayer requests. There are some I saw, but there are some she hid from me. But those are private. You're entitled to privacy. But I think I recall when you say that the God you serve answers your prayers. I recall so many things she used to write about in her prayer notebooks.
And I've ticked all of
And
them
you've
because
ticked
none
them.
of them has not been answered.
Yeah.
To honest, now that I remember, I'll show you when you grow a bit.
Yeah, when
Because some things are so personal, but even those personal things, your children will go through personal, even concerning marriage, concerning relatives. Everything I asked for, actually.
God has done it in His
I
time.
tick, you tick. When He answers, you tick. When He answers, you tick. Yeah.
That's such a good message. And I think it's also helpful for me to watch you maintain your sense of self,
Yeah.
even when you're accommodating people. So even how you communicate yourself to people so that they can also accommodate you. So it's like a two-way street, which I think is quite beautiful. And I think that the future is where people are united,
Oh, yeah.
you know? And maybe you can speak on this in terms of power dynamics in the mediation room.
Okay.
How sometimes, like maybe you can, from an observer's point of view, how a lot of conflicts can be solved if there is some sense of love, some sense of wisdom, and some sense of understanding of where the other person is coming from, and sensing what they are feeling is. You know how sometimes maybe now maybe I can even give the example how there was a case where the mediator sensed that one of the parties wants to cry,
Yeah.
and she called for a break, a short break, so that the party can cry. And then after she's done crying, she can come and resume the session. So that sense of feeling, I can sense that you're feeling heavy.
Yeah.
And because of that sense, we're going to take a break.
Yeah.
You go, you know,
Yeah.
offload, download, whatever load. Then once you gather yourself, we'll be back in 10 minutes. And when you're back, we continue like, you know, nothing was. And you're now more sober. So you can speak to how maybe we can resolve those type of conflicts in power dynamics through those things you've taken us through.
Yeah. Now, I said again, I'm a nurse by profession. When I was nursing patients and also doing their clinical, because I did nursing, bedside nursing, and I also did, after bedside nursing for a number of years, bedside nursing is taking care of the patients in the ward. I went to clinicals. I did some clinical diagnosis. So I went now to treat patients in the clinic like any other doctor. Now, during all that time, I realized that most of the sicknesses patients have, they originate from psychological traumas. And I said, if we could look for a way of preventing the psychological trauma, then probably we will not be having so many patients with depression, hypertension, diabetes. All those are stress related.
Yeah.
I went to do a degree in counseling psychology. As I continued now offering counseling services, I also realized most of those who need counseling services are going through crises as a result of conflicts. So I said, how is this conflict, how can this conflict be resolved? For some reason, somebody talked to me about mediation, and then I remembered somebody who came in our country one time called Kofi Annan. Then I said, what? You want me to be Kofi Annan? Oh, wow, I jumped over the moon. Went for the training, did the training, and now I'm Kofi Annan of Kenya. Now, during now the services for mediation, because I'm offering mediation services now, court-annexed mediator, we happened to go with my daughter to the training. She's also a mediator, court-annexed. Me, I'm doing court-annexed, and I'm also on private mediation back home. I decided to open an office because there are so many conflicts there at home. Shamba related, Shamba is farm. People are trying to snatch farm from one another. Maybe they don't have money to go to court, or they have gone to court and it has taken too long. Family related, where there are family conflicts and you want to maintain the family relationship. parent-children conflicts, where maybe people have children and they are not supporting, and the government has to force them to support the children. Maybe a woman gave birth and the father of the child is not giving any support. They come, we mediate, and we agree on how they can support one another. So during those, then employer-employee also conflicts. Employees themselves also conflicts, where you find that there are conflicts, there are riots. Not riots, there are strikes, work strike, even school strikes, and they are not. The people do not know where it's coming from. Work-related strikes, you find that it's only workers who are working among them, who are fighting among themselves. What I've also found in the villages as to once one school strikes, you expect the other one to strike. So as a mediator, I'm called to prevent the strike, to find out, are the students having problems? And if there are problems between students and teachers, I'm able to mediate until now they call off the strike if they were planning to strike. So we've agreed with some teachers, in case you see an unrest, always call me so that I come and find out what it is.
And contain it.
And
before
contain
it becomes
it.
something.
Because so it is during this mediation setups that you find there is a power dynamic, and I'm able to bring them together. I don't make decisions for anybody. You who have the problem are the ones who look for your own solutions. So as you look for your own solution, when I'm coordinating, where I find there is a weakness, we try to look for time so that they can come together and maintain their family unit. Because sometimes when cases are taken to court, or when the cases are finished in court, it is the judge who says. But in mediation, it is them who say, this is how we want to handle our problems. And we've handled problems where they have been in court for 20 years. Like there is one case of inheritance issue, where they had been in court for around 17 years. And we took only 2 days to finish it. And they were so relieved. They have been going to court, they are told, come another day. They come another day until the courts themselves now are overwhelmed. They are calling mediators to come and help them deal with those cases which are not criminal cases. So I think
That's
up to there.
clear. And as we wrap up, I want you to speak to the value of unity. Because I feel like sometimes our generation values individuality so much. And mommy, there are some places you can't go alone. There are some heights you can't reach alone. I want you to speak to the power of being united. And we can start from the family unit. Fostering that unity, sometimes even at the cost of comfort. So sometimes you're like, I'm not comfortable, but I need to prioritize unity. Why? So maybe you can speak to that from a point of guidance for us young people. What's the true value of unity from a family standpoint?
First of all, what is a family? Family is father, mother, and the children.
But
and the extended
looks different these days, Mom.
And the extended, we have extended families. Those people who are blood related, and those blood related, they have brought others. So you find that, like for example, I was saying in our house, my mother has 7 children. My other mother, because we have 2 mothers, also has 7 children. So those are already 14 children. These people, we have all married, and we've married out. The others have married in. So we are over. I think we are too many. Even I don't know the number. So that is a family. Now, if that is a family, how do I? Like now, I'm not there. The family is increasing every day. How do they know me? How do they know anything about me? If something happens, will they call me? So we need to maintain a relationship through communication, through meeting, so that we can know each other. Because through knowing each other, we'll give moral support, not necessarily financial, although sometimes also financial support come in, but you cannot give moral support to somebody you don't know. How we can maintain family unity is by communicating with one another. Those who know, so they go and tell those who do not know. Through organizing meetings, family meetings, not only to organize when there is a death or a birth, let's organize to have family meetings, even just to make merry.
Yeah.
Then also it's very important to know your family because of marriage. I have seen situations where when you are related, there is a powerful attraction. So like Clara here may meet the cousin, and because there is a blood relationship, they are attracted. And then she tells me, Mom, I'm bringing you a boyfriend next week. Then when they come, oh my God, who is the boyfriend? The cousin, the first cousin. And maybe they have gone too far. What do you do? And culturally, in our culture, you don't marry relatives. So it's very
brotherhood.
Oh,
You don't marry in the brotherhood.
Yeah, we also don't. We have something in Kimeru which is called brotherhood, not necessarily blood related, but it was a traditional pact where they did something. I don't know what they did, but I know the people we cannot marry and the ones we can marry.
Yeah.
However, some Christians diluted it, but culturally.
Some Christians are a Christian, but but you're right.
But
there are
culturally,
some
yeah.
people I can't marry because of the brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in Meru we call it Ichiaro.
Ichiaro. Yeah.
That brotherhood, if let's say one is from this corner and the other one is from this corner and we're in brotherhood, when they come to my home and ask me for anything, I have to give. If I go to their home, ask for anything, they have to give. But also there are rules because it can also be misused.
Yeah.
So it's very important for families to know one another. It's very important for parents to tell their children who their family is. What is their family tree? If it is possible, go to meetings. If it is possible, also when there are fundraisings, just join. Give something small. If you don't have, give yourself. If there are barriers, go to them. Give something little. And that's what I tell my children. Don't say you don't have, because tomorrow it's me. Today it's me. Tomorrow it's that other person. That's how we maintain family units.
Yeah.
Then guiding one another. When you know a family member is going through something, or there is something you know which can help them, you have to guide one another with love and conditional. Don't give because he will give you or she will give you. If you have, give anyway. If you don't have, give your service.
Yeah.
If you can't give your proper service, give a smile. Give a thank you. Give a pole or sorry. Something like that.
Okay.
And love one another.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mommy, for sharing that. You have watered the garden of my mind.
Amen.
Because those seeds you planted when I was a child, but you're watering them, the more I hear over and over again, the more the stronger the tree grows.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. And thank you also to the viewers. If you've gotten to this point, we really appreciate your time. Please engage with us in terms of the things that we've discussed, relating with people well in terms of loving them, having that wisdom and understanding to navigate power dynamics. Maybe you can share with us your experience and how you navigate that in your family, in your workplace, in the context that you're in. But thank you so much for being with us till this point, and we hope that you have a lovely day ahead, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And remember, mediation is very important because it maintains family unity, it maintains relationship. It could be easier than going to court because court sometimes separates you, but mediation brings you together, brings understanding, make you understand that actually you are not wrong or they were not wrong. It was just a situation. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.